got one, and I think they're pretty good stuff, at least for the teachers to look at, but they're kind of interesting.
We appreciate it. Obviously, we'll want to look at them, and this week just may pass them on to others as time goes on. We appreciate you coming and sharing them with us. Not always pleasant, but we need to hear these things too.
We do.
We appreciate that. Okay, next on our agenda is Mike McCormick, Wayne County High School, Channel 39.
Yes, the wonderful, infamous Channel 39. Give me 1 second.
And then I see that Brian Vance, the general manager of Armstrong, is with us this evening.
Yeah,
I had him, Brian being my neighbor, I'll tell him, I know when I have a problem with cable or something, I just want to sit down and smoke a cigarette.
I'm gonna go ahead and pre-apologize to Sean because I don't stand up. I can't
That's
just.
fine.
Wherever you want, Mike, found out.
I gotta walk around. I can't just stand still too often. I guess what I'm here to do is tell a story, like a very short story, that started about 2 years ago when I was over at Hamlin PK8. I was the TIS there, and as many of you guys know, funding for that position dried up, and I found myself looking for another position somewhere. So I had a couple options. Number one, there was a full-time TIS position up at Barbersville Middle. And they were doing iPad labs one-to-one with kids, always starting that thing, and I had the option to go there. But one young Mr. Ryan Sachs had talked me into taking the position at the high school, and he did it by offering me something that no one else could. He said, well, I'll give you a digital media class. I know you like making movies and videos and other things, and why don't you come here? You can take over and do the morning news broadcast because the teacher who had taken that, or who was doing that previously, she had retired, she was moving on, and they were in need of somebody to do that. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I've always been a middle school guy, but I can make the transition to high school. It won't kill me. So I made the transition. I made the move and went over to the high school. And that first year, they opened up YouTube. In the classroom. Before, it's always been blocked. You had to, if you wanted to watch any kind of YouTube video in your classroom, you had to go and get that video on a whitelist or pre-download it at home and bring it in on a flash drive or anything to get it to be able to play. But Mark Moore and the guys at the State Department Technology Office opened that up to where we can actually access it at school. So when I moved over to the high school, I knew I was doing digital media. We created a school YouTube channel. It wasn't much, just us, and it was me and about 7 or 8 kids. Started off with just 5, and we made silly little videos. We did the morning announcements, and we started recording them. We started editing them. We started getting a little bit better at it. Put a lot of hours into it, just learning the process of how to do it. And we started uploading videos, and people started watching them and watching them and watching them. And then around January, December, this time last year, they came to us with this project they wanted to do, the Minute Movement. It's just the get up and move. Get your kids up for a minute a day doing some kind of activity, and they wanted us to do some kind of video promo for it. And we started off by, I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen the Andy Banfi Rip Your Pants Off.
Yeah.
We did that, we filmed that in December and premiered that in January, and it was such a hit on our YouTube page. Within just a matter of days, it had over 6,000 views. Kids were tweeting at it about getting, I think the hashtag was get Andy on, or get Banfi on Ellen. They tried to get him on the Ellen show. And from there, it just sort of started snowballing. We started making other funny videos and other things. I gave a handout. I think everybody should have one with them. Kind of looks like a print off from a YouTube page. And this shows, this is basically what our home screen looks like when people go to it and they log in. This is kind of what they see. There's an overview video of what it is that we do, some of the funny antics that we get along. And then the very top one has our recent uploads, our most popular uploads, which, by the way, the Andy Banfi video is not our most popular video. Surprisingly, it is not. The Harlem Shake video, over 8,000 views just for that one video. Followed up right behind with Andy at 6,000. We did I guess it would, just a random spontaneous movement at a basketball game. We did the Harlem Shake there. That one's already got over 4,000 views just on its own. And just some other couple random clips. All in total, we have a total video views of over 55,000 video views. That's individual video views, not when people watch videos over and over and over again. Those are just individual, one IP address, one person's phone, one person's laptop, one hit each, 55,000. The great thing about YouTube is they provide a lot of really cool statistics. So you can go to YouTube, the Google Analytics for those, and you can pull up a lot of statistics. On the second page of your all's handout, you can see some of those. I just pulled up the statistics for this last month. You know, we have over 3,500 views, estimated minutes watched, 5,660. Now that's as of yesterday. We've had 2 other videos hit since then that have had several hundred views each. One was the one we just posted last night at 10 o'clock, and it was the Spanish kids doing Christmas Carol in the hallways. They came to the office and did Christmas caroling. Filmed it with my iPhone, posted it online, over 100 views already, and less than 24 hours later. Around here, that's not bad. I know a lot of people look at YouTube videos and wonder, well, if it doesn't have, you know, several, you know, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 hits, it's not a successful video. But we're measuring ours on a little bit smaller of a scale. All right. Overall video views, as of yesterday, 53,301. Total time, estimated minutes watched, 91,833 minutes. People sat through and watched our videos. By the end of last year, we had produced roughly 200 videos. We did over 100 episodes of our TV show, the Daily News, which is we call it the Daily Grind. We had produced over 100 episodes of that. And all entailed, it was probably 18 to 20 hours worth of content. This year, we have already met that mark in total hours of content. We are well over 20 hours already, and we've only produced probably 800 videos this year. Maybe a little less than that. And we are on track to probably double our numbers from last year. Now, we've had some tremendous growth in this. I mean, people are constantly commenting on the things that we get to do, and they're constantly watching it. Let's fast forward. One of the things that helped us get there through not just the YouTube, but it's through social media. I know you say social media in schools, and a lot of people immediately tighten up. But social media is one of the things that has really helped us get in touch with our kids. You know, nowadays, Facebook is for the parents. All of our kids are on Twitter. You'll see attached at the back there are 2 other sheets that talk about our Facebook use and our Twitter use. I'm going to start with Twitter. Basically because Twitter's sort of been with us since the beginning, and Twitter's sort of been the vehicle to carry all of our YouTube videos. Every video that we post automatically posts through Twitter. We have 505 followers. Now that's not all just, you know, students. We have, there's teachers in there, there's parents. Sean's one, he follows me, I know he does. Occasionally he'll retweet us. But this is the vehicle that we get to where we can communicate with our students. And they talk back, you know, constantly letting us know different things, you know. This week, the big chatter has been about final exams, you know, their semester exams and not wanting to take them, but you know what, they're doing it because that's what's expected of them. And they know it, and they're doing it. They're complaining a little bit, but they're okay with it. In fact, I think it's not on this sheet. But first thing this morning, I noticed that one of the kids had posted something about Mr. Lambert's. You know, he had put his study guide on the Edmodo site. So if you had questions about it, you could find your information there. You know, so there's a lot of. It's not just a lot of, you know, kids chattering about one thing or another. A lot of it is them actually sharing important information that is relevant to their schoolwork. Surprisingly. You know, I try to follow back most of the kids. You'll see I follow 473 different students. Tend not to follow too many parents, but mostly the students. So if the students have concerns, I can see that. You know, every once in a while I'll check it. It's not like one of those things where you're constantly on it all the time. But Twitter, and YouTube were our two vehicles that sort of helped us get through to this year. So let's fast forward to the beginning of this year. First day of school, first day with students. I've got my small class. We've got 8 kids. We're in the media center. We're in the lab. And we're talking about some of the things we're talking about doing different videos and whatnot. And one of the kids asked me about, doing a school channel, like putting stuff out to TV. And this is exactly how this went out. This is no exaggeration whatsoever, because a couple days before, earlier in the year and earlier that week, Greg had talked to me about, they had the ability to do a school channel if that's something you want to do. And I was thinking to myself, that's going to be a lot of work. I don't really know anything about doing a school channel. And I'm in the middle of telling my kids, no, we're not going to do that. In burst these two guys with, with Coach Christian. And they're like, Mike, I want to talk to you about something. So step outside. We're going to do a school channel. And at that point, I sort of was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue about this. Yes, I can make some funny short little videos, but how are we going to provide enough content to put on a loop or anything that's going to be constantly on? And we had no clue how to do this. But with some persistence and some working, we had actually originally started around the idea of doing
The first video,
which was we wanted to do a football show, basically a pregame football show, get people excited about Panther sports. We had a new coach come on the scene this year. It was basically a brand new program. Everything was new about it, and we wanted to get some excitement for the kids. And so we were going to do a pregame, postgame kind of show, interview the coaches, interview some of the players, and we ended up doing it. We planned something really big for our first home game. And it was a lot of work, a lot of time, but we got it and we got it put out. And you want to mention something about how the reaction to that went?
I can tell you all that we just so happened our first home game was South Point, which we have an office at South Point as well. And so we kind of, like he said, threw this together. Well, we called South Point coaches and their AD and all that, and one of them, so we interviewed their coach. I can tell you the next day, the day after, I got a call from their AD apologizing for being late. Thought it was wonderful, great, amazing. The next Sunday, I got a text from their head coach thanking us, wanting us now to come to South Point next year because it was wonderful. We have a marketing girl in the South Point office. She calls me on Monday and goes, "What did you all do?" And we're like, we just filmed the football game and did a little show. Why? She said, because at church, she had 15 or 20 people going, "Why aren't we doing this? Look what they're doing. Why can't we do it?" So it really went over well, not just here in Lincoln County, but definitely in South Point as well.
And through a lot of different trial and error, whether or not we were just getting videos together, putting them on a thumb drive and sending them to their guy in South Point to play on Channel 4, versus when they actually came and got the modules and everything set up in our building to where we could actually broadcast out. They came in and punched a hole in my wall and put a little box with some plugins in it. There's a hole in my wall, okay? They filled it in. The wall was filled in. But they, once they got that put in, we've been able to broadcast out. Now we have a 2-computer system. I run everything off of a tiny little Lenovo laptop that it only does one thing and one thing well, and that's PowerPoint. And it is running this PowerPoint, which you see actually behind me playing right now, which this is actually what's running. It's not live right now. This is what's running over at the school right now. This is the same show. I drove over there 10 minutes before, took a copy of it, put it on here, and it's showing, right now we're broadcasting the highlights from the football season. I did a 15-minute highlight reel. We've done JROTC Raider competitions. We've interviewed the Colonel about what are some of the things that the kids do at ROTC. We've got a loop of the show choir doing Christmas carols. We've got, scholarship information that runs through on PowerPoint slides. So the kids know what scholarships are available, what deadlines that they have. We've got sports schedules for the basketball team, even though, for the first part of this season, they're all away. We've got all the away games posted up on there. And we lead off every episode or every loop. I say it's a loop because it's the PowerPoint that just keeps going, is with our daily announcements. It cuts in at the very front. And how many of you guys ever heard of my friend Dave? Dave? Anybody know Dave?
Dave's not here.
Oh, I know Dave's not here, but Dave is one of our best. He was our biggest fan. Last year, when we first started doing our shows, they came to me and said, Dave is your biggest fan. You need to get him on your show. Make him do the weather, let him do something. And Dave is a very special student, and he now comes to us every Thursday, and he does the Friday show. And this guy, whenever he comes on the camera, he makes my guys perform 1,000 times better. Because if they don't perform better, he will steal their lines. He will read them right off the teleprompter, and he will take them. All right, and David Gore does a phenomenal job. When I put abbreviations up there, BB, basketball, he says basketball. My kids, on the other hand, they still say BB. You know, they're catching on a little bit with my shorthands, because sometimes I'm a little quick at typing the notes out for the show beforehand. But he gets it. You know, he loves to do this stuff. Yeah, so he has been one of our delights this year. And with pushing stuff out to the school, we've been able to do a whole lot of different things. This year we've been able to hit, you know, we've always had the ability to broadcast internally within the building, but it never seems to have had as much importance as it has this last year, because we actually got rid of or stopped using our internal broadcasting system. Actually, I can't say that. Right now it's running a fireplace loop for the holidays for the teachers, because they wanted that. So they turned to channel 70, and it's a video of a fireplace, and it just runs 24/7 until the holiday break. But right now it seems like we have a lot more importance on it, because everything we're pushing out pushes out to the community. So it makes my guys in my class go above and beyond. They're leaps and bounds ahead of where they were last year, and they just keep improving. I'm not really sure how I want to end this up, because there really is no end to this, because we keep taking on new tasks and new things. Seth came to us, he wanted to do the Veterans Day program. All right, let's do this Veterans Day program. We got it together, we shot it, we filmed it, we did it in combination with their guys over in South Point, because they sent people from South Point. They filmed it right along with us. They actually took the film, produced the whole thing, and had it ready for us on Monday morning. Which saved me a lot of time, because I'm usually the one who spends a lot of late nights, 10 o'clock, you know, sitting over there in my little booth, working on my computer, trying to get this stuff done. But yet, these guys have helped out a whole lot by offering to do some of that stuff for us. And we're actually looking to expand to do a lot more different things, you know. You guys were talking this morning about going and filming at some of the other schools. They've got Christmas plays coming up. You know, at Hamlin Middle School, Harts. We're trying to get all the different schools involved, because at the high school, one of the things that we've been battling for a long time is that whole unity thing, trying to get everybody to come together. You know, it's not a Hamlin High School anymore. There's no Guyan Valley High School anymore. So they're trying to get everybody to come together, and it's starting to form and build that way. And we're doing that by doing outreaches at a lot of the other schools. So maybe we might be putting in some programming for those guys on our channel 39, which is also digital 206. If you have a digital box with 206. I understand some people said they had a hard time getting it.
So that again, I can't get it. What's the?
If you have a digital Armstrong box,
I guess so.
206.
Yeah.
I just push. I go from 38, and then I go to 40. And I said I push 39 in, it'll automatically go to 40.
Well, we're
Back to
analog.
206.
Analog 39, but if you have the digital box, we're 206. 206, try that. That might be the magic number for you.
Save you a call.
Thank you. Save you a call. But a lot of the stuff that we're doing, we just continue to grow and do it. Now, this has not been a cheap program. It's been there's been some expenses. You know, cameras aren't cheap. A lot of the costs you guys put up with, you know, running a line for the internet to be able to run all this stuff to South Point. It takes about 5 seconds to get all the data from here at the high school to South Point and back. 5 second delay. So when we switch over, we're doing the live show in the morning. I know that we've got to be on the ball just so we don't get caught with that delay. And there's constantly things that are going. Now, I have one other thing that's on this list, which is a little bit odd, but we talked about Twitter, we talked about YouTube. and how we're connecting with a lot of people. We've actually gotten a lot more out of Facebook here lately. Now, I know that's another one of those clinchers when you talk about social media and Facebook. But last year for the bond, we created a Facebook page. Trying to get people interested in putting out some information about voting on. Sean made several posts about different articles and stuff in the newspaper on there. Didn't really go anywhere. Only had about 50 people who actually liked and followed it. At the beginning of this year, there was talk about we have a new parent ambassador program with our S3 program at the high school to get more parents involved. One of them suggested we should do a Facebook page. So I just rolled over, went to the other page, I was the admin, changed the settings, made it a Lincoln County High School page. And then the week the first Monday we were out for Thanksgiving break, I started posting pictures and some other things that I had stored up on my phone, only about 5 or 6 pictures. And within the matter of a week, we went from 50 likes to over 500 with getting parent and student engagement in that community. Over 500 views. We are now up over 550, I think 553 last time I checked. This one says 549 on your paper. But one of the great things that they have changed with the Facebook posting is like you really want to see how people are interacting on your page. Well, with the Facebook fan page, which is the one that we have set up, it now shows you your reach to the community. How deep are these postings going? Are they just going out there and no one's seeing them? No. Right now on here, we've got a picture of Haley, who was going to be here, but because of the time issue, she had to go to her grandmother's this evening, so she couldn't make it. But this is a picture of her from the last commercial that we just shot. It's reached out to 147 people. Now, 147 people have seen this picture. They've clicked on it, they've looked at it, they've seen it. They may not have liked it, they may not have commented on it, but they have seen it. 147. So far, a lot of the different posts that we've had a huge draw. We went, last Thursday was our first home basketball game, but it was also the night we had the green hand ceremony at the high school for the FFA, which I was there, I was helping out with that. Posted a couple pictures of the kids as they're getting their green hand degree. Over 700 and some people have seen that picture and looked at it. Over 30 or 40 likes. There's another picture of David Gore getting a Christmas stocking from one of his teachers. You know, it's got 500-600 people that have seen that. Yesterday, when the kids went Christmas caroling in the hallways, I took a picture of Miss Polly Smith and her kids in the room as they're, just practicing before they went out. 600 and some views. So we can actually now measure our reach to a lot of different people. We may not have that total engagement where they're liking or commenting, but we can see where our reach is. And hopefully, as this continues on with the Armstrong Channel 39 and a lot of the other stuff that we're doing, we're going to get a bigger reach. We're going to be able to put things out there for other people to see. One of the big things that I've noticed, especially with our Channel 39, there are other schools. When we're trying to compare, what's our quality compared to other schools, there are only a handful of other schools that have taken advantage of this. They're doing sort of the same thing with GW High School. They have their own morning news broadcast. Kids record, put it out there. I'm friends with a teacher who does it up north at Jefferson High School. Their viewership is nowhere near what ours is. We post a video. The latest Panther store commercial went up on 2 days ago. Over 280 likes on, over 280 views, on YouTube. Some of the stuff these other schools are doing, 9, 10, 12 views. We're getting, on average, between 50 and 150 views on different videos. So our stuff is getting out there, and people are commenting and talking about it. Does anybody have any questions at this point? I know I've talked on and rambled on. I haven't got hit with the water bottle yet, so I think I'm good on time. I don't know, I might duck now.
I think we're all enthusiastic about what you're working in. Obviously, you are, Mike.
Yeah.
when you over. So we want to thank all the extra work you put in. We want to thank Armstrong for allowing them to do that. And like the idea that you're going to be able to progress out into some of the other schools and show some of the things they're doing too. So, it's a wonderful thing. Possibly in a community like ours where there isn't as much to do, maybe there's more of a focus on things like this than there might be in Charleston or something. Maybe that could be part of the reason. Or maybe y'all just do good work, everybody wants to see it.
I'm gonna go with we're doing good work. Okay.
Well, that's a smart move.
My guys are pretty talented.
So now that I know it's 2:06, we're okay. As soon as I get home, I'm done.
Actually, if you guys digital watch, you can make the decision yourself because we're 206. South Point's what, 204, 202. So I think all the different schools that have these channels, they're all up in the 200 range. So if you want to just peruse through, and then you can come back and let me know that it's their talent.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Anybody else?
Well, I want to thank Brian Vance for, I know he's helped for 4 years ago when I came back on board. That was one of the first things I went to him to get Channel 39 started up, and I appreciate your help, Brian.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you and I talked about, and you just hit on it. In Lincoln County, we think the school is the draw. So with Mike, what he's done, and we're trying to just help out, I can tell y'all right now, in your areas, and I want to go ahead and recruit now for Armstrong, if anybody, if anybody watched our football broadcast, I've had Ron Pritchard, Josh Brumfield, Josh Shemp, anybody that wants to be involved, please. We're going to do some basketball stuff. I've got Eric McCann from the Hearts area said, I'm interested. So we're trying to get people from all over involved in this. So just kind of, what we're hoping to do is just bring this whole county together. We're hoping that helps out. And plus, the kids seem to be excited about it, and everyone seems to see themselves on TV, so
That's right.
that's what we want to do.
Right.
I know that the Hearts grade school principal, we called her 2 weeks ago. She was the first one. I said, "Are you doing a Christmas party?" She goes, "Yeah." "Why?" I said, "Well, we do local programming. We would sure like to be interested in doing yours." Well, she about came out of her seat, and she goes, "I'm not sure what time. I will call you back." And I was like, "Well, you please." It wasn't, an hour later, she's coming back, 9:30. 8:30, 9:30. Can you be there? I was like, "Yeah, we'll be there."
That's awesome. That's great. But thank you, Mike, very much. I try to give Mike a hard time every chance I can.
I try to keep getting you to come on my show.
I was going to say, I think that would be a wonderful idea.
I joke and tell her I've got a box she can stand on.
Exactly.
Hey, we're on the same time.
I'm gonna be in trouble tomorrow.
What time can you be here?
10:30.
Whatever happens, film it. Thanks, Mike. Yeah.